Okay, now let me go back to share content. I'm definitely on. Do you see anything now?
I've got a white piece of paper and then you just drew some squiggles on it.
All right. All right. You see that? Okay, we're going to have to go with that. It's not showing anything else for me. So does everybody see a great big X in the middle of the whiteboard?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. All right. So I want to talk about sig figs today. And let me erase my little thing here. All right, drawing. Okay. So let's talk about sig figs. And sig figs, significant figures. Okay, all we're really talking about when we talk about significant figures is what is measured, okay? And to chemists, we only talk about things that are measured. We don't talk about feelings or ideas or anything like that. Everything we study is something we can measure, okay? Even an electron. So when we measure things, we have tools that we measure them with. And so when you measure, anytime you measure, you read everything you can plus one digit. So let's just say you have a ruler, something like this. And this is just basic, but it does, I do want to tell you why it's significant. So let's say you have 1 centimeter here and 2 centimeters here. Okay, and we're measuring a leaf or something, and it comes to about right here. Okay, and so we're gonna write down every digit that we can see. Well, the only thing we can see is that it's between 1 and 2. Then we're always going to add an estimated digit. So, you know, maybe somebody might say that's 1.1 centimeters. Somebody else might say it's 1.2 centimeters. And those are kind of stupid, but, you know, I think most people would say, well, it's either, you know, 1.5 or 1.6, okay? And I don't think anybody would say 1.9. That's kind of stupid too. But it's not wrong because everybody will have a different estimate for that last number. And all of those numbers together are called the significant figures or significant digits. So when you report a measurement with 2 significant figures, it tells the person reading your report that the ruler looked like that, and that's as accurate as it could be. So that's the meaning of significant figures. So then the next thing we kind of get into is, well, what if something ends right on the 2? Let me see if I can, is that the eraser? Yes, it is. Okay. What if it ends right on one of the hash marks? Okay, so now it's a little confusing. Do you report it as 2.22 centimeters? No, you still need that estimated digit. Okay, so, but if somebody says something's 10 centimeters and it ends in a 0, you don't know if that ruler actually had, if it actually ended on a 0 or not. Okay, so all that's a bunch of words, but basically what happens is if something ends right on the hash mark, somebody may or may not know, was that how accurate the ruler was? Is the 0 holding a place or whatever? Okay, so when we get to the zeros in a measurement, it can be a little bit confusing. So there's some rules, and I think you came across them in your reading, but I just want to kind of go through a few numbers with you. And, you know, kind of just, you know, decide what you think, how many sig figs for each. Okay, so let's look at this one. And I think I can choose different colors. Okay, so this one, what do you think? How many sig figs? Anybody?
3.
Exactly right. Okay. So remember, if you've got a decimal place, all of the zeros after that are measured. Okay. What about the second one? How many sig figs?
3.
Giving you a hint here. Come on now.
3 again.
That's right. Good. Oh, we're on a roll. How many for the third one?
3.
3 it is. What about that fourth one?
4.
6.
6 it is. All right. So there is a decimal place, okay? Any zero after a decimal place and the number are significant. Okay, what about the last one?
Exactly.
Just one. Okay, I want to show you a kind of
What is that?
an easy way to do this. If we can do this easy thing where we say, draw a box around any numbers. If there's a dot, you're going to include all of the zeros after the number. Okay, and they're going to go in the box. Okay, so let's draw a box around the number up here. Here's the box. Okay. If there's a dot, we're going to include any of the zeros after the box. Okay, so they all go in the box. Everything in the box is a significant digit. All right, let's try it again. Put a box around the numbers. If there's a zero in between numbers, it gets caught in the box. Is there a dot? No, there's no dot. We're done. So that's 3 digits in the box. Box around the digits. Is there a dot? Nope. Dot's the same as a decimal. If there's no dot, we're done. 3 is correct. Okay. Box around the numbers. Is there a dot? Yes, there is. Then we include any zeros after the box. Those are all significant. Box around the digits. If there's a dot, nope, there isn't. We're done. Okay, so that box and dot is a real easy way to do sig figs. Okay. Have you done any homework problems where you were struggling with what to do with sig figs, or any answer or anything like that? Or let me see who the participants are here. I had, hey, Bo, am I saying your name correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you had a really good question on the homework, right?
Yeah.
You were asking, yeah, and I don't really have that pulled up on my notes right here, but I want to go back to that PowerPoint and get back to you on that, because I think that PowerPoint you're referring to, I think it's wrong. You're not going to carry 6 sig figs through that answer, but I'll get back to you separately on that, okay? Because I just read it a couple minutes ago. All right. Okay. I wanted to, okay, any other questions about sig figs? We are going to have a few problems where, let's say that you've got 6.6 centimeters times 7.001 centimeters or something. Okay, so when you're multiplying, you find the number with the least number of sig figs. There's 2 here, and there's 4 sig figs here. You can only have 2 sig figs in your answer, no matter what your answer. Okay, we're not going to do, I'm not going to give you any test questions on adding or subtracting. But yeah, I know you told me about that PowerPoint, but I haven't looked at it yet. Okay, so what other homework problems have you looked at that you've been struggling with? Nothing? Oh, let me look at the grades. Let's see. Oh, not too many people have done the homework. Oh dear. So I think you have a test coming up. So if you're, you should be working on those homework problems. And don't forget, with the homework problems, it's untimed, untimed. And you have almost unlimited, I mean, you can try the homework so many times that you should always get a 100% on the homework. You should keep working on it until you get a 100. Okay. All right, I want to, let's see. I had a problem in the homework with something about gold. I think we should look at that one. Let me erase all this, clear all drawings. Okay. All right, so this is a good one for conversion factors. So has anybody looked at that problem, the very last one in the homework about the Earth's oceans?
When I completed the homework, it gave me a thing that said the professor gave everyone full credit for this, and it never showed me the final question.
The final answer or the final question?
The final question at all. So it just said everyone got full credit and didn't give me the option to try it.
Thank you. That is really good to know because I didn't know that. I wanted people to try it, but I didn't know that you couldn't see it. All right. Well, if you've got a calculator and if you've got some paper and pencil, let's just try it. I'm going to give you the particulars. Okay, the Earth's oceans have a depth. We're all going to try it. Average depth of 3,800 meters. And an area. Now this is a hard problem. I'm not gonna dispute that, but it kind of takes us through everything on conversion factors. 3.63 times 10 to the 8th meters squared. That's the area. And it turns out that there's some dissolved gold. Did anybody know this? There's a lot of dissolved gold in the ocean. 5.8 times 10 to the minus 9 grams. That's not very much in a liter. Now, what we want to know, the question is, how many grams of gold in the ocean? All right. Give that a whirl. I'm going to look up the PowerPoint for Habo for here, just for a minute here, because I am kind of curious about what that PowerPoint says. Am I saying your name right? Habo?
Yes.
Hello? Okay. Okay, I'm going to look up that PowerPoint, but everybody give that one a whirl. Just get something down on your paper. Get something down. It's, you know, just something, okay? Just give it a try. Don't be afraid. Cool. So if I could, like, if I was able to draw the ocean, you know, as just some sort of square thing here, okay? So the depth 3,800 meters. And this, the top, the surface area is something that gives you length times width of 3.63 times 10 to the 8th meters squared. Okay? So what we want to think about here is we want to end up with grams. So we're going to have a bunch of conversion factors, okay? And then we want to end up with only grams in the answer. All right, I need to make sure I know how to get another page. New whiteboard. Okay. Does everybody kind of have the problem, the particulars kind of written down? Because I'm going to go to a new whiteboard. All right, so we've got this conversion that says 5.89 times 10 to the minus 9 grams. And anytime you see like a slanted unit, I like to tell my students, make it a numerator over a denominator so that you can see, okay, rather than having something like this. Okay, that slanted thing, that gets confusing. So make it not a numerator over a denominator, because we, in this problem, we want to end up with only grams in the answer. That means we've got to get rid of liters somehow. So we've got to get from somehow from liters to length, okay? And I'm just going to tell you right now, the way to do that is advertised on page 16 in your textbook. Well, there is a way. We can change the liters to milliliters, and we can change 1 milliliter to 1 centimeter cubed, okay? So make sure that you look at page 16 to see how a unit of volume is derived from length. Volume is a derived unit, okay? So if we can somehow get our volume to centimeters in this problem, then we can solve the problem, all right? So let's look at it. We've got, the first thing we've got is 3.63 times 10 to the 8th kilometers squared. Is that right? Yeah, kilometers squared, okay? Okay, now I'm going to do something here. I'm going to take out the squared, and I'm going to make that kilometer times kilometer. Okay, that's just one of my little teeny tiny little tricks instead of thinking about something being squared. All right, but we need, don't forget, we need to get to centimeters, okay? We've also got on that, let's see, we've got the depth is 3,800 meters, but that's really 3.800 kilometers, right? Okay, so that's the depth. There's the area, there's the depth, okay? Now, we need to get a kilometer to a meter, a kilometer, I'm gonna run out of room here, a kilometer to a meter, and a kilometer to a meter. We have to do that 3 times because we've got to cancel a kilometer here, a kilometer here, and a kilometer here. And there's 1,000 meters. Now, you know, some of you guys who are really, really good at math, maybe you know how to do this easier, all right? But I'm just showing people what a cubed unit, what ends up happening. It's not just 1,000 cubic meters to 1 cubic kilometer, okay? It's 1,000 cubed. All right, we're not done yet because we've got to get over here to centimeters cubed, all right? So I'm going to kind of keep going over here, okay? So now we need to get a meter to a centimeter 3 times. Meter to a centimeter, meter to a centimeter. And there's 100 to 1, 100 to 1, 100 to 1. All right. So that's going to give us the volume of the ocean in centimeters cubed. Okay. And then we're going to put that answer right up there. Okay. So go ahead and calculate that out, and I'll tell you what I got, and then we can see how you did. Did anybody get something like this? Anybody?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that answer essentially goes right here. Okay. So, but I'm gonna bring it on down. So 1 milliliter is 1 cubic centimeter. 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. And we've got our density as a conversion factor here. So 5.89 times 10 to the minus 9 grams in 1 liter. So we're able to cancel out the centimeters cubed, the milliliter, the liter, and we end up with grams, which is what we wanted. All right. So see what you end up with there. Do the math. All right, did everybody get something like that? Now, why did I do this hard problem? Because I think it shows us a lot of different things. It shows us this thing on page 16 that you need to go through. It shows us that you started, your given number has 3 sig figs, and your answer has 3 sig figs. Now, you can have, in these conversion factors, you can have unlimited sig figs. It doesn't matter because they're really just definitions. Your only real given measurement was this number here and your units of area and depth. This one's got 4 sig figs, okay? But you can't have 4 sig sig figs in your answer because you're limited by the 3 here and the 3 here. All right, let's see. I did want to, there was one other thing. Okay. Hey, Bo, the question you're answering, asking me about sig figs is that you should take 2 more significant digits through a multi-step calculation, but they're only saying that so that you will round it to the correct last number. That doesn't mean that that's how many sig figs you should have in your answer. It's just carry them through. You still need to use your rules of sig figs and calculating with sig figs to round off your final answer, okay? So if you want to carry those extra digits through, carry them through, but then you have to go back to your rules of calculating and you still must follow through on those rules. Does that help a little bit? Yes, no?
No, I'm still confused.
Okay, tell me where I lost you.
So
Let me
for
finish.
GPT, oh,
Let me finish this problem, and then I'm gonna talk about what Heba was talking about, and we want to wind it up because I can't. Canvas does not allow us to put Zoom recordings on that are very long, so it's kind of annoying. I don't know if you heard this, but Zoom kind of shut down yesterday. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Because so many schools were online, so we're struggling with that. So I don't want to go for an hour. I did want to just, kind of just toss this out to you. It turns out, just for the heck of it, that 1 gram of gold is worth $64, okay? So if anybody out there can figure out a way to get this gold out of the ocean, and this is a true story, this is not made up. There is gold in the ocean, just see what you get, because that's a lot of money. All right. Okay, here's what, let me get another page. Okay, so let's just say that you have 0.111 times 2. Okay, and and then at the end, you're going to add 10 to it, okay? And these are all measurements, okay? Remember, sig figs only has to do with measurements. It doesn't have to do with just, your math teacher's numbers. So if we carry through 0.222, I mean, that's what you get for that number, correct? Okay, in that PowerPoint, Hebo is not saying to put in 2 more significant digits. It's just saying make sure you carry them through. Okay, and then, so when you multiply, you can only have, that's 1 sig fig here, and that's 3. When multiplying, you can only have as many digits as your least accurate measurement. So if you're carrying it through, you would have this number. But if you're rounding as you go, your answer would only have 1 sig fig. Okay, so this is carrying all the digits through. This is rounding as you go. Now you still need to add 10, okay? Adding, you can only have this, the least number of decimal places. Okay, well this has 0 decimal places. This has 3 decimal places. So you can only have 0 decimal places. Your answer is 10. Okay, if you round it as you were going, this has 1 decimal place. This has 0 decimal places. Your answer can still have 0 decimal places. Whether you round as you go or you don't, you're still going to have 10 for your answer. Tell me that question again, Hebo. What is it? 1.6 plus 1.6? Was that your question? I didn't see it.
1.6 1.6 plus 1 plus 1.6.
Is it, okay, is that right?
No,
Write it, give me your message again, because I didn't see it. 1.6 plus 1. Okay, here we go. Right? This is what you want?
now the 1 is in the middle.
It doesn't matter. It's commutative, right?
No,
Doesn't
no,
matter
no.
what
No, it's not.
Send
It
me your
doesn't
question
matter.
again.
It doesn't matter.
1.6.
Yes, plus 1 plus 1.6.
Yeah, but these are the same. These are the same
Not
exact
same.
thing.
If you every step is not same. If you just round the final answer, it's the same.
Okay, so 3.2, your answer, okay, on your calculator, right? Okay,
The answer is 4 for the first one, and for the second one, the answer maybe it's 5.
nope, no, because you're still adding, this is 3.2 right here, right?
Mhm.
Plus you add 1,
Wrong.
so that's
No,
4.2. Okay, no matter how you add it, you add up, you get 4.2, right?
No, no. I mean, if you round every step, 1.6 plus 1, it's 2.6. If you round it, it's 3.
No, it's
3.
not 2.6. It's 3.2.
I
Okay,
mean,
that's
the
2.
second.
Okay, but if you round that,
Yeah, it's
that's a 3. Now you've got 3.
Plus
Okay.
1.6. It's
Yes, but
4.6.
this is all one step. This is all one step. If you had parentheses, that's a separate step.
So yeah, what I'm saying is for the PPT. So it said
4.6 is 3 plus 1.6 is 4.6. I love your question though, because this is 3.2 and that gives you 4.2. However, I'm going to stick with my original answer to you. This is all one step. Okay.
yeah. So
Now,
my point is, I don't need to know which one is correct. I just want to know which one is the rule for the test.
the rule for
So,
the test is
yes, if you
do
use your rule for the test, I'm okay with that.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let me give you another really, really easy way to do this. Okay. And everybody's going to love this. Hopefully they're still all there. Okay. On your Texas Instrument, okay, if you've got a TI anything, and if you've got a little button that says apps, okay, go to that apps button and scroll down till you see this thing that says Sci Tools. And then you're going to see this thing called a sig fig calculator. Okay. And let's just do that in there. Okay. So 1.6 plus 1 plus 1.6. Okay. And they're saying in the sig fig calculator, that answer is 4 with 1 sig fig. Now, if we add it in a different order, okay, 1.6 plus 1.6 plus 1, they're still saying the answer is 4 with 1 sig fig, okay? Do you have that, Habo? Do you have that app on your calculator?
No.
You don't have it? Okay, does anybody see that app on their calculator? It's in pink. It says apps, APPS. Does anybody have that? Do you have your calculators?
I don't have that on my calculator either, ma'am.
Okay, okay. You don't have to. It's just a really good way to check with sig figs. And I do want to tell you that I'm not going to torture you forever about sig figs. And when you turn in your labs, do be careful with the measurements in the labs. I will take off maybe 1 point. But since the tests and quizzes are multiple choice, the correct answer will be in front of you, okay? So you'll get to choose from that. So I really, I don't want to focus the whole course on sig figs because it's a confusing thing for students. So I don't want it to ruin your day or your experience with chemistry. But it is important because chemists are all about measurements. Okay. All right. We meet again on Thursday at 2. And I'm going to work out this thing and figure out what the heck happened today, because last night for Zoom, everything was working fine with the whiteboard, but I think we muddled through it. But I do want to just impress upon you that if you have homework problems that you're struggling with, just make a screenshot, send it to me. If it's something from the end of chapter problems, make a screenshot, send it to me, and we can all look at them together. All right. If there's a topic you're struggling with, I really need to know so I can go through it with everybody. All right? Any other questions?
Do you have time for a couple nuts and bolts admin questions about the course?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So in the assignments and in the grades, it says like chapter 1, keep studying chemistry, that's an assignment, but I can't figure out how to complete it. Is that
Okay,
like
wait a minute. Chapter 1, the textbook reading?
I'm not sure. So when I click on it, it goes to the textbook,
You're in,
but it doesn't.
you're in
it
Connect. You're in Connect, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I do
Okay.
most of my reading through a different Connect app, though.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I said in an announcement, even though it's listed as a homework assignment, in order for me to highlight the textbook, I have to list it as an assignment and assign it to you. Otherwise, you can't see my highlighting. And so it's no points. It's not really an assignment.
Okay, that makes sense now. I was confused
Okay.
by that announcement, and then
Okay.
now it makes sense that it's listed in there that way.
I'm sure everybody's thinking that. There's going to be more questions about that, but it's
But-
not worth points. It's 0 points.
Okay. A couple other Connect courses have like something where you click on that and there's like questions that pop up that you can do throughout, but I can't access those through this textbook. So that's what I was thinking I was looking for, and that's not what was popping up. So that makes sense. And then there's not a schedule attached to the syllabus, but it does say that there's 10 tests throughout.
Yes,
the
yes,
semester.
yes. That's my goal. My goal is, and I can't put them on in the grade book until I actually make the test. So what I'm going to be doing is at least getting a schedule so that you know when those tests are. Basically, they're going to be a week and a half from each other.
Okay.
Okay. And then when I assign the test, let me just write this down. When I assign the test, you've got a time period of like 3 days to do the test, or maybe 4. So it's sitting there available for you to do, and you pick the time during those 3 days to take it. And I think you get like 2 hours to take it or something like that. All right.
Okay. And then
And I'll try to get that schedule. Excuse me?
So we'll have at least a week's notice before we have our first test, so we can prepare and reweigh our study priorities for other classes. Okay.
Yes, I think I have scheduled your first test September 5th.
Okay. Then
September 5th.
this is a lab question, and I'm in your lab,
Yes,
and I
ma'am.
recognize that some people are not necessarily in the same lab as they are lecture.
Uh-huh.
Now, an appropriate time to ask those questions too.
Oh, absolutely.
So I logged on and I ordered the lab pack through the online thing that you had posted, but I'm still unable to order through the bookstore. Are those two things the same, or are they different?
Yes, those are the same thing. Don't get both.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, you only need one lab pack. They're pretty expensive.
Yeah. Perfect.
But I will say, even though they are kind of expensive, my students in the past have really thought they were pretty cool, and they've really enjoyed them. So, you know, I hope you do. And then as you do each lab, you submit that PDF of the lab conclusion. You submit the PDF through Canvas, okay, as a file attachment. And then don't forget, you need to show a photo with your ID in there of something that proves that you did the lab. Not just a picture of like random equipment setup, but you know, something that shows that you were actually doing the lab all the way through. Just one picture is fine, one
So
photo.
we would expect the labs are actually going to be assigned in hands-on labs as opposed to being assigned in Canvas. So we check that system. to see if
Yes.
you do this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to see all those labs. And I apologize that I don't have my schedule up there. I need to work very hard on getting that done because you guys make plans, I know. So, but also I know a lot of people probably haven't gotten their lab packs, but I know there's a lot of stuff going on with the lab packs coming in late. So don't lose sleep over the first lab being late. All right. Just, you know, just do them as you can. All right.
Okay.
And we'll try to get on schedule with that. They've already caused us 2 severe problems from getting the lab packs. I think it was your class. I don't remember if it was 112 or 111, but they made 2 huge mistakes on their part. So any other admin questions? Those are great questions. Thank you. Nothing?
I
Well, I
have
can
Alright.
find
one
it.
question.
What's that?
So, okay. So I can find the lab packs in like for somebody who hasn't gotten it yet in the SIS site.
SIS. What is
That's part of the
SIS?
login for TNCC where we pay for our classes.
I don't know. You mean at the bookstore? Is
Oh,
that what you're saying?
oh, is the lab thing a book? I couldn't hear well.
No,
on
the lab thing is like an actual like lab equipment packet. It's not, you know, it's not just,
Oh,
it's physical. They're
okay.
delivering it.
Yeah,
to-
you'll get a big box. You have to go to hands-on lab. I sent directions about that.
Oh, okay,
In
okay.
fact, I sent the directions, golly, maybe August 5th or something like that, quite a long
thank
time
you.
ago. It's in the first announcement you got from me. If you can't find it, go back through the announcements. You'll see it. It's hands-on lab.
Okay,
You'll
thank
actually
you.
you'll get a box with a bunch of equipment in it and a bunch of chemicals. It's pretty fun. If you take anatomy and physiology, you actually get a pig to dissect from the company.
Oh, thank you.
The what?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
I have one more question. I just
Yes, sir.
new messages.
1.2 times 2 plus 5.2.
One
Is
point.
that the
Yes.
one?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's put it in the calculator. I'm going to use the sig fig calculator. 1.2 times 2, that's 2.4.
Mm-hmm.
But you can only have one sig fig. Okay, so that's going to be 2
So.
plus
Mhm.
plus 5.2, right?
Yes.
Okay, so no matter
That's
what,
a 7.
you should have one sig fig in your answer. So
But
this
if
gives you
you. Mhm.
2.4
2.4. Yeah.
plus
Plus
5.2.
5.2. It's 7.6.
Ooh, I love that question.
8.
Okay, let's do that again. 1.2 times 2 plus 5.2. Wait a minute, 1.2.
But don't you
Nope.
round it up because it technically is 2 steps. There's the multiplication and then there's
Yep.
the addition.
What did they call that in algebra? The order of operations. There's a
Yeah, that.
Does.
What's that? It's
PEMDAS.
oh,
Yeah,
what?
that. PEMDAS.
What is it?
PEMDAS.
PEMDAS. Well,
Mhm.
and I can never remember. Is it WS? I don't even know. Is that what it is?
PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponent multiplication, division, addition, subtraction.
There you go. There you go. Order of operation. Thank you. I was trying to think of that before. So, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, then division, then what's the A? Addition and subtraction. Love it. There you go. That's the answer. So you would follow the order of operation, PEMDAS. Awesome. Whoever that was, I'd like to give you extra credit.
Razi.
All right, I'm gonna cut it off because otherwise I won't be able to post this. It'll be too long. Keep your questions on a little piece of paper so you have them for Thursday, please. All right.
All right.
And have a
So,
good day.
so what's my question's answer? 7 or 8?
7.
7. Good discussion. Love it. I love that. And the answer is because of PEMDAS right there. All right. Okay. Talk to you on Thursday and I'll try to comb my hair. All right.
You're all
Talk to you
good.
later.
Sounds good. See you
Okay.
Thursday.
Thanks. Okay. Bye-bye.